Hello, 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 everyone. This is Jaylee's Corner. I am, of course, Jaylee, and this is my it's a review slash introduction for a new show called Snowfall. But as you always know, first things first. If you have not done so already, please take a moment and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Subscriptions cost you nothing. It just lets you know when I have new content available. And as I say every video, I love new subscribers. And my shirt also says I love, well, says I love you, but whatever. So yeah, please, if you have not done so already, please subscribe. So, Snowfall. It's a new show. It comes on FX on F as in Frank, X as in X-ray. So it comes on FX on Wednesdays. And I didn't watch the show until I think I watched it Friday on my DVR, and because I didn't know if I was gonna like the show or not, so that's why this is like a review slash introduction more than an actual review of the show. I have to admit, when I first watched it, no, matter of fact, no, I watched it Thursday, and then I cut it off because there was a scene that kind of threw me. And I was talking to my coworker Shannon about it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna try to watch it later. So I ended up watching it Saturday all the way through, and I liked it. It's in the 80s. It's about the reason I didn't watch it, and I had to watch it twice even yesterday when I watched it, because I was paying attention, but I wasn't paying attention. So it's like 4 different stories that are connected in some kind of way. It is based in the 80s about when cocaine and crack came to LA. So there's one character whose name is Franklin. He's a black kid who stays in South Central, and he dabbles in selling drugs a little bit. There's also there's a Mexican wrestler who he dabbles in like collecting money for crime families. There's a CIA guy named Teddy who we see is like disgraced a little bit. It looks like he's been sent on a bullshit assignment, probably as consequence for something he messed up. And then there's this other like crime family or whatever. So as I said, I had to watch it twice. I thought the show was about the one character, Franklin, when I was first watching it. So I was confused when it was going to different people, and I'm like, wait, what? What? So when I first watched it, the scene they opened up with the Franklin character in his own neighborhood talking with his friends or whatever. Okay, I thought the show was about him getting into the drug game. It went from him to he was then at a wrestling match with the Mexican wrestler dude, and he's a fan of the Mexican wrestler dude. And then the Mexican wrestler dude is talking to the 2 crime family people, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then it goes from that scene, and this is a scene that threw me. I'm minding my own business, as I always am, and I see a guy like walking in, and a guy, and then I see like someone's ass, like a clear cut ass, and I'm like, why that's a naked ass? And I was confused because I be forgetting that some TV shows show nudity. And so I'm like, okay, it's just a girl's ass, not that much. And they show people doing cocaine. And then I thought to myself, why do people, when they do cocaine, why they do 2 lines, why don't they just do 1? So as I'm pondering in my head why people smoke cocaine, why when people snort cocaine, they snort 2 lines of cocaine. And I was like, well, I guess why that's also like why when people smoke weed, why they smoke 2 blunts. So I'm questioning all kind of stuff in my mind. Then the next thing you know, I see a white man's ass. And I'm like, okay, another ass, okay. And then, I see a girl giving a white man who ass is shown head. Totally threw me off because I was confused for the simple fact of on other shows when they insinuate someone's getting oral sex, they might show the person's face in pleasure, and you might see them looking down, so there's someone down there doing something. No, not on FX, not on Snowfall. No, they showed the chick's head like moving, and the bitch was moving. Man, she was going to work, if you ask me. And the guy is enjoying it. Then there's another girl who asks, I see. And at this point, I'm confused because I'm like, did my TV switch over to porn? Because this is a porn scene. And, because I can clearly see her giving him head. And I don't see penis at all. You don't see anyone's penis. But you clearly understand that he's standing there naked. And the naked girl is in front of him going to town, and you can see her head doing the motions, like you see the head moving. Back to the other guy who's chilling with the other naked girl, and they're just snorting cocaine and having fun, and she's saying how much her heart is racing and how she feels great and she loves this. Then back to the dude getting head with the naked ass. He then says to the other girl, "Do it now." She proceeds to put cocaine in a straw, and she pushes a straw in his butt, and she blows in his butt. At that point, I'm flabbergasted. I'm confused as to what the fuck I'm watching, and I cut it off. I'm like, you know what? Nope. I don't know what this is. It's just I don't know. How did it go from this black dude in the neighborhood, stopping kids from taking stuff off the ice cream truck, to the fucking Mexican wrestler talking to the two people in the alley about, let me know the address, I'll get the money, and then it's on to this other man getting his dick sucked and cocaine blown in his ass. I didn't get the correlation between any of that. I was confused about what the fuck I was watching. So I cut it off. And I said, you know what? Nope. I don't even want to watch it. And I talked to my coworker Shannon, and I was like, girl, I was thrown off because I was like demonstrating. I had like my cell phone and maybe a bottle of water. I'm like, see, her head was going like this, and she had to show, and she blew in his butt. Because I was really concerned, like, I didn't get the correlation. I didn't. And I was like, sometimes shows can have a scene that's not even what the show is about. But you can make a person not want to watch it based on, I don't want to see people getting cocaine blown in their ass. Like, that's just not what I want. I didn't want to see that. I was just like that was my reaction. And I was like, but, I'm going to go home and try to get past it. Because I heard it's a good show. So, I got home. And I brought up, I was like, it's the reason why I never watched Orange is the New Black. Because I tried to watch it one time. Season 1, episode 1. I was at work years ago. I'm on lunch. I got my iPad. Okay, let me plug my headphones in. I'm going to watch Orange is the New Black on Netflix. And the beginning scenes, it was like a sex scene in the shower. Cut it off. Like, nope. Not gonna watch it. And that's the reason why I never watched Orange is the New Black. But I cut it back on. I sat through it. It's a good show. Like, anyone who watches the show, that's why I'm telling you that this part is in there, because if you are a person who that might not be your cup of tea, and it might be like, whoa, and you might think that's what the show is about, it's not. So if you can get past that part, you will like the show. Mainly kind of talking to my sister, who I know she's not gonna like that part at all. It's gonna make her not want to watch it. But once you get past that part, and he gets the cocaine blown in his ass, and he has his climax or whatever, and the girls are like, oh my god, this is so amazing, nah, 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 nah. And the girl like, I have to go see this. So the one girl leaves the guy who she's with to go see what's going on, and the guy says, all you're going to see is a guy with a straw up his ass. I guess that wasn't the first time he got a straw of cocaine blown in his butt. And then you hear the girl screaming. Because what's happening, the guy who had cocaine blown in his butt is ODing off the cocaine. And the girl's like, oh my God, oh my God, called 911, called the ambulance. And the other guy's just standing there like, oh shit. And he kind of lets him die. He like lets him OD and everything. And that's like the first opening beginning of it. So the show is about these couple of characters. Franklin, of course, is a black kid from, South Central, dabbling in drugs. His uncle's dabbles in drugs. His aunt's dabbles and she does drugs, I believe. But he's just trying to make some money as anybody else would have been. He went to like an uppity type of school, so he has other white friends, even though he stays in the hood. And basically, his friends, he goes to his friend's house, and the friend is a kid. It's a white kid, and they fucking shooting porn scenes off. Yeah, I forgot about this too. They're shooting porn scenes in the kid crib. And he walk in, he like, hey, to his friend, and he like is normal. And this porn shoots all throughout the house. You see girls rubbing on each other, somebody riding somebody. Of course, you're not seeing any genitalia, but you can clearly understand that this is the 80s and they're shooting porn in this mansion, and it's just crazy because it's like, what is going on? But he's just going to see his friend and hang out. So said friend wants to get high. His parents' supplier doesn't really, he's kind of crazy. So he asks Franklin, hey, can you go pick up the drugs for me? Because this guy's kind of crazy. Franklin agrees to go pick up the drugs. He gets there. The guy's like, I don't sell drugs to kids. Franklin's like, I'm not a kid. He's like, I also don't sell, cocaine for $200. I sell to people who can afford it. And he's like, well, how much? And he was like, I sell kilos. Kilos? That's a lot of stuff. So Franklin then has the bright idea to say, well, okay, front me a key. Now, that's when shit gets interesting, because they have a conversation of, why should I front you a key? And they have the conversation, and he says, okay, well, I'll trust you I'll front you a key if you let me shoot you while you wear a bulletproof vest. And that's the test of if I can front you this key. Because as Franklin says, in my neighborhood, I can flip it for you. You'll get a whole new clientele. You'll have a whole new revenue stream. And of course, as we know, people love money. So he puts on the vest, and the guy points a gun and say, you have any last words you want to say? And he's like, don't miss. He shoots, and he doesn't even shoot at him. He shoots the other way. Because he's like, the fact that he even had the balls to come in here and say, one, front me a kilo, and then two, you can shoot me, and if you don't kill me, then we'll be friends, and I can be selling drugs for you or whatever. So he does front him the key, and he's like, you got 1 day to bring me back 12 grand. And he's like, shit. Price thinking he would have more than a day to make this money, but this is the test. Bring me back 12 grand, or it's gonna be some shit. He goes back to the hood. He tries to talk to his uncle, who dabbles in drugs, and his uncle ain't even with it. He like, look, go ahead on. It ain't worth it. That's too much shit. I don't want to worry about it. But his auntie overhears it. And after the uncle puts him out and sends him home, the auntie then goes to him and say, is the drugs, is it real? Is it real cocaine that you trying to sell or whatever? He like, yeah. They go to the aunt's old worker who owns like a club where people are in there getting high and stuff. And she's like, hey, it's in business. Well, long story short, she does buy the cocaine. In the process of her buying the cocaine for $16,000, so he's now made $4,000 because he got the 12. They got to pay old boy back plus 4. But he says to her, if you buy this key from me for 16 grand, I'll come back tomorrow with another key. Because for him, I now have my connect, and now I have someone I can keep buying from me, so I'm going to keep making this little bit of money or whatnot. So, but even in the process of that, the auntie gets slapped because she knew the lady and she left the lady a long time. It was just a lot going on. But it was entertaining to see all of this happen. There's even a scene where his mom is, it looks like she's maybe like a person who collects rent. and she's just trying to make ends meet. And he's trying to not have his mom have to do what she's doing because it can be dangerous, and it shows how she's kind of tired from what she does as well. So that's his kind of story of him dabbling a little bit and selling a little bit of weed here and there, hanging out with his friends, smoking a little bit of weed here and there, to his one friend taking him to get some cocaine, and he ended up getting front of key, and now he's selling drugs, and he's selling kilos. He sold a kilo of drugs in one day. So yeah, the CIA guy is now connected with the overdose dude with a straw in his ass, because the dude who overdosed with a straw in his ass was also a CIA agent who was working with another country who was trying to have a war. They're trying to fund this war, so the CIA was going to sell all these drugs to people to fund a war in another country. And he ended up ODing. So now Terry, the new CIA guy, is like, well, I'll just take over from here. So the other guy who was at the house when the guy OD'd, he opens up the goddamn pool, and it's a jacuzzi full of packaged cocaine, just full of cocaine. And he explains what's going on about what they were supposed to be doing, how the guy was partying too hard and he died. But they have to keep going because they have people in this other country waiting for the money from these drugs to be sold so they can fund this war. Fucking crazy. The killer part is the guy asking, okay, when the guy died, was it just you and him here, or was anyone else here? The dude lied and said, yep, it was just me and him. So to me, that means he killed the women that were there. Because why would you not say they were there? And plus, the CIA guy was like cleaning up after the murder, and he was spraying all around, like it was splatters of blood all around the house, which was weird if the guy died in one place. So I'm like, okay, he must have killed those women, and their blood splatter, which he tried to clean up, he didn't fully clean it up. So the CIA guy, who was a professional cleaner, he sees stuff. He's like, wait, something ain't adding up. He sees some blonde hair on a brick. He saw an earring as well. So it was that whole thing of now he's enthralled in selling these drugs with this soldier from this other country so they can fund this war. I mean, it was just a good show that I was like, I had to watch it twice because I was missing stuff. I was missing who the dude with the strongest ass was. Why was he with this other guy? And now how did this guy find the other set? So I had missed all of that. So I had to rewatch it. Very, very good. Once he explains, okay, yes, he was CIA, but we're trying to fund this war, and we were going to sell these. Like, I was like, oh, okay. And that's how I kind of pieced it all together once I watched it and paid attention. Even I kept on wondering, why was Franklin at the white kid's house? I had missed that was his classmate from when he was at his little uppity school, and that's why he had went to go visit him. So to me, that part was crazy. Lastly, the Mexican wrestler, who was also, I guess, a break-in person for hire, was working with a crime family to steal some money from a house. So he, breaks into the house. They're like, when you break in, you're going to just take the money, bring it back to us. Don't run, don't get any ideas. He breaks in, he gets the money, but as he's in there, someone comes home. They start fighting and they punching each other, and the dude ends up falling over the railing, breaking his neck, and he's dead. So it was supposed to be a simple snatch and grab, as I'll say, and now it's a dead body. And the show has me very, very much so intrigued. So I thought the show was about one person in particular. It's not. It's about 4 different characters who are all connected, and that was just episode 1. Again, if you can get past the cocaine straw in the ass part, I know that sounds crazy. If you can get past that, it's a really good episode. A really good show. It seems like it's going to be a good show, even from the previews for what's to come, and even the ending with Franklin and his auntie when they're leaving from him selling the key of cocaine, and they're at a stoplight, and they both look slowly, and they're watching somebody cross the street. So I'm like, well, damn, are they about to get robbed? I guess the lady who just bought the drugs about to rob them too. But no, it's his father who was a bum. And she's like, you want to go talk to your daddy? Go talk to your daddy. He was like, no, just drive the fucking car. And as they're driving, he's crying because it's a thing of he's trying to be this adult, but there's some kind of backstory about his father. And I'm like, damn, that came out of nowhere. So, I mean, it was a really, really good episode. It's kind of funny as well because his uncle, is a small time drug dealer, had a female come to the house and she's like, get your ass out here. And his aunt says, I told you don't fuck that bitch without me. Now she going crazy. So y'all fucking bitches together? And he like, go beat that bitch ass. Go check her. And she trying to watch her soap opera. And she waiting for her soap opera to go on commercial so she can go beat the girl up. I mean, it was a good episode. I will be doing the review every week for this particular show. Next week I will do a full regular review and not like a review recap of stuff. But if you haven't checked it out, again, it's called Snowfall. It comes on the FX channel on Wednesdays. So that's it for me today. If you have not done so already, as you know, please subscribe to my channel. I will see you guys tomorrow in my other reviews. And thank you and have a good evening. Peace.